Paul Doswell, 2019 coming to an end and we begin 2020 with a trip to Weymouth tomorrow.
Yeah, going to be a good game. As I said earlier, I think that they've got a particular way that they play. They really want to pass the ball. You can definitely see the influence of Mark Mosley and probably the way that Bournemouth set up as well. And they got some good players. You know, he's fortunate enough to have that Bournemouth connection, and he's brought in, I think it's 4 or 5 Bournemouth of their better under 23 players, and as I said, they're very impressive. Hobson, Sherin, Brennan Camp, and the keeper Callum Ward, and then they've got the on loan lad from Yeovil as well, Whelan. So, 5 loans in your starting 11 seems a lot, but because of the symmetry between Mark and Bournemouth and Weymouth, it definitely works for them.
Of course, we're meant to play them on Boxing Day. That game subsequently postponed. Have you learned a bit more about Weymouth having that extra week to look at them, analyse them, etc.?
Not really. We were well prepared for the game on Boxing Day. Really disappointed for everyone that it was called off, because it would have been a real good crowd here on the day, and it's a loss of income as well for the club, and no one wants to lose any games, but it just hadn't stopped raining for the whole of December, and we can't criticise the pitch, because at the end of the day it's the weather that's done it. And I've got to be honest, if we'd have played Boxing Day, it would have been another 50-50 game, because it would have cut up so badly, and it wouldn't have seen a decent game of football on it. So ultimately I think we'll see a better game against Weymouth whenever we play them. I think probably in February now, assuming that the rain stops.
And of course, it looks as if the rain has stopped, which gives the pitch a bit more time to recover.
Yeah, I've just been on it today and it looks fine. Actually looks very good. It's just, it was continual. It was every day, and it wasn't just light, it was absolutely torrential. We've now had 6 days of no rain on it, and as any pitch, it's starting to recover. It's still wet, but it's nowhere near as wet as it was. And looking at it today, Martin's just cutting it. It looks in perfect shape for Saturday's game against Maidstone, and I don't think there's any more rain predicted. So, we know that we've got that to look forward to as well. It seems a long time since we played at home. Tough games coming up with Weymouth and Maidstone, but these are the games that we all want to be involved in.
Next month there's going to be 9 games if you include the Hampshire Senior Cup tie. It's a lot of football, a lot of big games as well in amongst that month.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly defining month in many ways. We're playing Weymouth probably almost twice, because we'll be playing them at the start of February. We've got Wealdstone at home, we've got Slough at home, we've got Hemel away, Maidstone at home. I mean, you reel off those teams, and you realise what a good league this is as well. There's no easy games in amongst it, and I think January playing 8 or 9 games, you go from 19 to almost 27 or 28 league games, and we were just saying in the team meeting, that's 2/3 of your season gone then, and that's when games are then starting to potentially either get away from you, if you like, because after 28-30 games you got a fair idea where you're going to be.
But going into those games, it couldn't be a much better form line. 5 wins from the last 6 in the league
and a draw, unbeaten away from home, which that was a little target that we set ourselves, and I think that's a great achievement. It's not easy in this league to go away from home and pick up points, and we had to at the start of the season, because our home form, we just weren't scoring those chances to make good performances into wins. But away from home we've been excellent and clinical as well. Away from home I thought our performance against Hungerford in that first hour was as good as any that I've seen for a long time, because we could have had maybe 6 or 7 goals in that period. We played some great football, and we defended, and we had to at times. We defended very well. So you never go away from home and not have to defend well to get points. And that was the most pleasing aspect of our performance on Saturday, was how well we defended, especially in that first 15 minutes when they put us under the cosh, really.
In the top 6 tiers of English football, only 2 teams have been unbeaten away from home in the league. Us and a team called Liverpool.
Yeah, I saw that on your tweet yesterday. Listen, it's a great achievement by the players, and I suppose if I'm being greedy, and I'd like to have said to you that we were unbeaten at home as well. The 2 games that we've lost in the league were both at home, and that still rankles me, if I'm being honest. But if you're going to lose a game at some point, it might even be tomorrow. But ultimately, to get through the period that we've done without losing a game, winning 6 and drawing 3, it's a good effort. It's a real good effort.
Of Of course, we're at near enough the midway point of the season now. You've been here since April. How have you, after such a long time at Sutton, how have you settled in now to life at Wesley Park?
Yeah, it's. I think that's one of the bigger achievements. I think that we had to because of the change in the training regime, and also the players I wanted to bring in. It meant we had virtually a brand new squad. I think we had to mould them together in pre-season, and I think that it's a real credit to the players that we're in the position that we're in. Bearing in mind, that it was a side that was put together very, very quickly. I think in the June. So. That's another big tick in the squad's box, because you put a collection of players together. You hope that they're going to be the right mix and the right characters, and that's certainly been the case. I think that you watch them day in day out at training, and they're a great they're a great group of lads. And in terms of coming here, it's a club that I sort of knew because I've known Derek and I've been down enough times watching over the years, and obviously having played here as well, I did understand the ethos of the club. But no, I've got to say the chairman, again, fantastic. Supported everything that we've asked him to do. Very, very lucky to have him, I think, as a chairman at the club. And all the support staff and everybody else. It's it's a very professional setup here now, which I'd like to think that we've improved every area of the club since we've come in. We've got a very young physio team. You look at the 3 physios that we've got in. We've got a very young media manager, and we've also got a young analysis in Scott Munro. Got a young goalkeeping coach in Jordan. So you look round at the coaching staff as well, and it's a real young, enthusiastic, very professional setup, and it's something their youthfulness as well sort of gives you a real good reason to come in smiling in the morning.
Of course, with most of the setup being so young as well, it means that they've got that enthusiasm, that energy, and it also gives them the will to improve. And obviously, as youngsters, they're going to make mistakes every now and then, but they're going to improve upon those.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you made one on the day before Boxing Day, telling everyone the Weymouth game was postponed when it actually wasn't. Listen, I think one of the lovely things about us is we all make mistakes. We all have a bit of banter about it, and we know that there's a bit of fun to be had. And if you can't enjoy your work and enjoy what you're doing, then there's something wrong. And like I said, myself and Ian are in the early sort of senior stage, 53 and 55 respectively. But as I said, having the young ones around you keeps you very young. The players are always up to something, always up to some mischief as well, and that's always good to see. But also I'd like to thank the supporters. They've made it very, very easy for myself and Ian since we've been at the club. I've got to say, very surprised at the numbers at the away games and also the volume of the support away from home is, it's got better and better. And I think that's also one of the football they're seeing. I think they're travelling in bigger numbers than they've ever done. And to get on average 1,500 people at home, again surprised me. I thought we'd be around the 800-900 mark, but the season ticket offer, which again the chairman endorsed and everyone got behind, meant that we've got some really good crowds down there, and it's buzzing down here. You sense the place is buzzing, and I think my favourite day of the week down here is a Wednesday night. The floodlit, under the floodlights. It's a real good atmosphere, and it reminded me, very much as a kid when I went down to the Dell under the floodlights, tight pitch, and the crowd getting behind you and. I don't think we've lost a Wednesday night game yet, and we do enjoy those games. But it's an overall thank you to everyone, really. As I said, to directors as well, Brocky, massive amount of support, and Tim Miller on the doctor's side with us, and everyone's made us feel so welcome. And what our job, I've said it all along in the 3 years that we're here, is to try and make sure we're in the National League by the time those 3 years are up, and hopefully it can be in year 2, and that's really the main aim.
If we can keep up this feel-good factor between now and the end of the season, hopefully we'll have a very happy ending, because there really is a real feel-good factor around the place now, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think I said a lot of hard work goes into that. It's it's not really just the 3 o'clock turning up on a Saturday or the 7:45 on a Tuesday. An enormous amount of work goes into making this a successful professional setup. And like I said, a lot of credit to the other staff as well. We've got 3 physios there that. They're one-to-one work with the players, and we have had a lot of injuries this season. Scott Munro with me every Monday and every Tuesday, doing the analysis, clipping the opposition, taking it seriously. And all of them as well have got the opportunity to move higher up the pyramid. And, certainly, Scott Munro on the analysis, and you look at our physio team and Jordan, they should all have aspirations to go higher, as should our younger players. So it's not just the players who are looking at this as a CV enhancer. It's also can be the staff as well, and I think that's really, really important.
Paul, really enjoyed seeing behind the scenes so far this season. A lot of fans have appreciated behind the scenes content you've been able to give us access to. Thank you for that, and Happy New Year and welcome to 2020.
Yeah, and I'd like to obviously wish all the Hawks fans and everyone else in the football family a healthy New Year, a happy New Year, and let's all pray the footballing gods are with us.